Good morning, everyone. So before we are going to take the video, let me introduce myself. My name is Fristianty Nuralita Zelin. I'm a third year English student at Muhammadiyah, Jakarta University. So here I would like to make a video intent to my microteaching task. So furthermore, for the concept, I would simply make a microteaching video for online learning and do not include the students on it. Along with this video, I'll be picking up the recount text material, which is the recount text will be taught to middle school student. Then without beating around the bush, so now we're going studying about recount text. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good morning everyone. How's life? I hope you guys are okay. So guys, due to the pandemic of COVID-19, we are still conducting classes online. However, I will not hold a class using platform e-learning like usual because it will take a lot of pulses. Okay, then without beating around the bush, so now we're going studying about recount text. Did any of you guys know what is recount text? So, recount text is a text which retells events or experiences in the past. So it tells or describes what the person is going through. Okay, so for instance, in the past, when we went somewhere, or you could talk about something that happened to you. That's for the definition of recount text. Furthermore, its purpose is either to inform or to entertain the readers, so that there is no conflict in this text. As for the characterization of recount text, such as the first one is using past tense, such as went, partied, would, woke up, and so on. For instance, of using past tense, like I got dizzy when I woke up yesterday or last night. And for the second is adverb, using adverb or adverbial phrase to express about place, manner, and time, such as last September, or Hari Island, or on the second day, and so on. And the last one, or the third one, is using conjunction or time connections to sort events or experiences such as and, then, before, after that, and so on. That's for the characterizations of recount text. Furthermore, there are the generic structure of recount text as split into three sections such as orientation, events, and reorientation. The first one is orientation. Orientation, it tells about background information on who, where, when events, or when experiences occurred. So, the orientation, usually it will appear in the first paragraph or in the opening line of the events or experiences to be related. So for the example, Roy Trenton used to drive a taxi. A short while ago, intoxicated, he became a bus driver. So from such an example, might we learn that from the story of Roy Trenton as a bus driver was discussed. Then the question arose is what just happened? The second is events. Events is narrating a series of events or experiences that occur in chronological order. Here is an explanation of the gist of the story or the events. The third one or the last one is reorientation. Reorientation is the conclusion of the story. To close a story, we can give our opinion on it. Also, this is a closing part of the story or an epitome of the story. Yeah, and for the example is shortly afterwards, the police stopped the car and both men were arrested. So, from this sentence, we can understand that the police were finally able to catch the man. Yeah. Meanwhile, there are three kinds of recount texts, such as factual recount, personal recount, and imaginative recount. Yeah, so for the first one is factual recount. Factual recount is a recount text that serves to present reports of events that actually happened or the text that reveal facts. And for the examples such as science experiment reports, police reports, or actual events in history. Yeah, and for the second one is personal recount. This recount text that should be familiar to a clever fellow. And personal recount is a recount text that serves to tell about the author's personal experience. Personal recount is a text that contains our personal experience. And a brief sampling of personal recount that we see daily is either a note that tell us about today's events or a tweet that shares our message. And it's all you can assemble in recount text. Yeah, and the third one or the last one is imaginative recount. Imaginative recount is a type of recount text that serves to present an imaginative story. Imaginative recount text is perfect for those of us whose imaginations are full of imaginative story. And what is the sample text like? And for the instance, let's talk about how we watch and enjoy the one of K-pop group concert in our dream. And who is in love with that? Okay. Yeah, so that's all for the kinds of recount text. So here is the example of recount text. Let me read this for you. The first example with the title Being Late. Last morning, dinner, my roommate woke up late and she had to go to campus. When she wanted to take her motorcycle, in fact, she couldn't move it because there were some motorcycles that blocked up her motorcycle. She tried to move all of the motorcycles so that her motorcycle could move from the garage, but she couldn't do it. Then she called Adele, who had that motorcycle, which blocked it up. After that, her friend who had that motorcycle helped her. Finally, she could move her motorcycle and rode it to go to campus. Okay, so from the text here, there are the characteristics of recount text. The first is when she used past tense, like woke up, want to, tried to, called, rode, and so on. The second, also using adverb or adverbial phrase like last morning, campus, the garage, and many more. So the third, also using conjunctions or time connection like and, so, but, then, and so on. So also there is the generic structure of recount text. The first is orientation. Orientation is there are in the opening paragraph, that is, last morning, Dinar, my roommate, woke up late and she had to go to campus. So for the events is from when she wanted to take her motorcycle. In fact, she couldn't move it because there were some motorcycles that blocked up her motorcycle. And she tried to move all of the motorcycles so that her motorcycle could move from the garage, but she couldn't do it. And the last is reorientation. Orientation is the conclusion of the story, so that there is in the last paragraph of the story that is, then she called Adele, who had that motorcycle, which blocked it up. After that, her friend who had that motorcycle helped her. Finally, she could move her motorcycle and rode it to go to campus. Yeah, that's from the first example of recount text. So for the second example of recount text with the title, My First Trip to Pari Island. Okay, let me read this for you. Last September, I went to Pari Island for a holiday. I went there with Sarah, Andi, Evelyn, and Yoko. That was my first time to travel there. Our boat departed from Muara Angke port to the island at 8 a.m. We arrived at Pari Island around 10 o'clock. After that, we went to our guest house that we had booked before. Then we did cycling for a while and had lunch before we decided to do snorkeling. When we went snorkeling, the fisherman who became our guide brought us to the beach far enough from our guest house. We did snorkeling there. The water was very clear. We could see groups of tiny fishes and beautiful coral under the sea. On the second day, we woke up so early to watch sunrise. After we spent long enough time to watch the sunrise, we decided to get breakfast. There was a festival at the time. We went to the festival and had breakfast there. In summary, my first trip to Pari Island was so enjoyable. I would like to visit this place again together with my family in another change. So, from the text here, also there are the characteristic of recount text. Okay, when they using what past tense here, like when, woke up, departed, and so on. So the second also using adverb or adverbial phrase like last September, Pari Island, and so on. The last also using conjunctions or time connections like and, then, before, after that, and so on. Okay, so also the orientation here is in the opening paragraph, that is from last September until to travel there. So for the events is from our boat depart from Muara Angke until and had breakfast there, is in the second and the third paragraph. So for the reorientation or the closing of the story is in the last paragraph, or is that in summary until in another change. So recount text is a text that tells about people's experiences or events in the past. So, and the goal is to entertain the readers. Okay, all right, kids. that's probably enough from me. And as for the assignment, I'm going to give you a task of recontext, and it will be collected on Google Classroom. I'm done for the meeting now. Don't forget to keep up with your health and just stay at home. Okay, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'll see you at the next meeting. Bye bye.